Flathead Sheriff Chuck Curry makes a decision on his future serving the county. And the Whitefish City Council hammers out several issues on their agenda tonight.
Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 10 o'clock news on KAJ, Montana's news leader.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Don Fisher. A manhunt in Lakeside ends in the arrest of an armed man from Libby accused of stealing weapons and a truck yesterday. Last night, the Flathead County Sheriff's Office received a report of a burglary that happened in the Kalispell area. The suspect was the victim's son, now identified as 30-year-old Kevin Ray Mitchell from Libby. Around 4:30, a log truck driver reported finding that truck about 6 miles up Kramer Creek Road near Lakeside. Deputies responded and found that a rifle was missing from the truck. Mitchell was reported to be under the influence of meth and very unstable. An alert was pushed out to residents in the area, warning them. Two Bear Air responded to the scene along with Flathead County SWAT, and Mitchell was located around 10 p.m. and taken into custody without incident. He was hypothermic and transported to a local hospital. He is initially charged with burglary and felony theft. Helena police are investigating a Monday night robbery at a Subway restaurant on North Sanders, in which a clerk was assaulted and forced into a walk-in cooler. Police say dispatchers received a call around 9:30 last night, and the caller said that two masked men had entered the store about 20 minutes prior and assaulted the clerk. That clerk was tied up and locked in the store. Police say that the men made the clerk provide them with money before forcing him into a walk-in freezer. The clerk called authorities after he freed himself. Investigators say the clerk suffered non-life-threatening injuries, but if you have any information on this incident, please contact the Helena Crime Stoppers at 406-443-2000. And switching to weather, another dry day for most of northwestern Montana, and it looks to stay that way at least for tomorrow, but a weather shift could bring in some snow later this week. Now let's turn it over to Chief Meteorologist Aaron Yost, who has a look at our first forecast. Aaron? Yeah, we're definitely going to see some changes here come Thursday across northwest Montana, so enjoy the calm conditions here overnight tonight and into at least the first part of the day tomorrow. Right now, still dealing with quite a bit of cloud cover out there. Many of us starting off with some patchy fog this morning. Hopefully you were in a valley where it did mix out and you were able to see a brief amount of sunshine. We do have a little bit more cloud cover in store tonight and into the day tomorrow, although I'm expecting mainly quiet conditions. By tomorrow night, our next system will advance, and that'll be very much felt throughout the day on Thursday with rain and snow, perhaps even pockets of freezing rain for us in northwest Montana. More details coming up in your forecast. All right, thank you, Aaron. Flathead County Sheriff Chuck Curry says he will not run for re-election in 2018. Curry is now serving his second term as the county sheriff, having first been elected in 2010. He's been a fixture at the Flathead County Sheriff's Office for more than 3 decades, serving over 20 years in other roles at the department over the years. As sheriff, he oversees more than 50 sworn deputies and 50 civilian members. And so far, 4 others have announced plans to run for sheriff, including former Undersheriff Jordan White, as well as deputies Calvin Behringer, Brian Hinio, and Keith Stahlberg. And while Sheriff Curry hasn't thrown his support to any candidate yet, he says he feels that the pool of candidates are well qualified.
There'll be a lot of challenges facing the person that takes the helm of this organization. Certainly the jail. How that looks, how that's going to play out is going to be very important to the organization, very important to public safety.
And candidates have until March 12th to file for election. And in Lake County, Sheriff Don Bell says he will seek another term. Bell is currently in his first term as sheriff, and before being elected, Bell spent 23 years as an officer for the Confederated Salish Kootenai Tribe. His office is currently staffed by 73 employees, consisting of 24 sworn and more than 30 civilian support staff. The Ronan native says he's excited to run again and make the streets safer for Lake County residents, including his own family.
And so I'm even more motivated to for the valley to prosper and keep my kids safe, my grandkids safe, and then all the other citizens in Lake County.
And like Curry, Bell says one of his biggest issues that he will face if he is reelected is addressing the outdated and overcrowded jail, which is constantly at or above their 42 inmate limit. On Tuesday night, the Whitefish City Council voted and passed a 102-unit resort housing complex that will be located on Wisconsin Avenue. With the passing of the vote, Whitefish Development Partners was granted a conditional use permit to develop 66 condominiums at 700 Wisconsin Avenue and 36 at 900 Wisconsin Avenue. The vote was postponed last month due to the public and council wanting more information on how the development will affect traffic on the road, and the main concern was from the public. A representative of the group went into detail about the number of concerns that people had, and that the council asked the group to further clarify. And from right-of-way to secondary emergency access points, many of the community members spoke about their concerns of the high volume of units and traffic that is already congested on big snow days.
On a powder day, you all know it's backed up to the post office from Alpine, all the way to Big Mountain Road, and so we need to look at the density. I think it's way too dense, and look at the traffic study. Thank you.
And that vote passed 4-2. Glacier National Park officially sets a new visitation record, easily topping the 3 million mark. The final report on park visitation from the National Park Service shows that 3.3 million people went through the park gates in 2017, a solid 10% increase over the previous year. The park passed 3 million visitors this year in September, even with the fire season cutting access on the west end of the park. The new record wasn't unexpected, and for the first time in Glacier's history, more than 1 million people had come through the gates by July, and that was a 23% increase. And park visitation was already up 11% through the first half of the year.
Thinking about that many people coming to the park and coming to this area in such a short time period. No other big Western national park has seen 1 million visitors in a month. So not Yellowstone, not Yosemite, not the Grand Canyon. So that was pretty significant.
And concession stays were up almost 10% at the park's lodges and hotels, but overnight stays in tents and RVs, which represent the bulk of Glacier's visitors who remain in the park on more than a one-day trip, was off, and they say that was likely due to the fire closures on that west side. A majority of members on a panel assigned to designate national landmarks and historical sites is bailing out. They say it's because they've never been able to meet with Interior Secretary Ryan Zinke. The National Park System Advisory Board is a federally chartered board tasked with advising the Park Service on issues ranging from protecting specific sites to addressing climate change in park units. 9 of the 12 board members suddenly quit last night, saying they've been unable to meet with Secretary Zinke since his appointment a year ago. Board Chair Tony Knowles wrote in a letter that the board has stood by waiting for a meeting to continue the partnership as prescribed by law. And he said that the panel's requests to exchange have been ignored. Interior spokeswoman Heather Swift has said earlier that more than 200 boards and panels attracted to the department have restarted, but many are still waiting for their charts to be renewed and be renewed by the Trump administration. A new scam is hitting Netflix customers. Thousands of users received an email pretending to be from the company. The email prompted subscribers to update payment information to avoid service interruption. A cybersecurity company says that users were then directed to what appeared to be an official login page, but Netflix says if you're unsure about a link, hover your cursor over it to see where it actually will direct you. The North American International Auto Show is now in high gear in Detroit. On Monday, the Automotive Writers Association handed out its awards. The Honda Accord was named the Car of the Year. The top SUV was the Volvo XC60, and the Lincoln Navigator won Truck of the Year honors. CVS wants more truth in advertising in its stores. The drugstore chain will no longer use manipulated photos on store brand beauty products, and is also requiring other brands to follow suit within 2 years. If they don't, CVS will put a warning sticker on them. And from Southern Africa, the epitome of a diamond in the rough. This 910-carat monster was recently extracted from the Letseng mine. It's about the size of 2 golf balls and is believed to be the 5th biggest gem-quality diamond ever found. And up next, Aaron is back with the rest of your forecast for the week. And later, neighbors in a Southern California community are still reeling after investigators found 13 children found malnourished and some chained inside their home. Stay with us.